A storm rumbles distantly, rain echoing in your silent room. You sit on the edge of your bed, questions swirling in the thick air. Have you ever wondered, am I losing my mind? Or is something else happening here? When your memories slip away, you start to believe you're just too sensitive. Tonight on Psyche Canvas, we'll walk through 10 subtle marks of quiet gaslighting, a journey not into madness, but into truth. The world may have tried to unwrite your reality, but tonight, we reclaim the brush. Psyche Canvas. It often begins with a tiny fracture in reality, a moment so small you almost miss it. Like a hairline crack in glass, it's barely visible at first, but it's there, quietly spreading. You sense something is off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You remember an event, a comment at dinner, a look in the kitchen, a fleeting moment that lingers in your mind. The memory is vivid, colored by emotion and detail. You replay it, searching for clues, wondering if you misunderstood. But when you bring it up, you're told, that never happened, or, you're just being dramatic. The words land softly, but their impact is sharp. You feel a subtle sting, a quiet dismissal that makes you second-guess yourself. You begin to question your memory. Did you imagine it? Are you overreacting? The certainty you once had starts to slip away, replaced by a fog of doubt. Maybe I am too sensitive, you think. Maybe I read too much into things. The self-doubt creeps in, quietly undermining your confidence. But deep inside, there's a seed of certainty, a memory that feels real, stubbornly refusing to fade. It's a quiet anchor, holding you steady even as the world around you shifts. This confusion isn't loud, it's a whisper, unthreading your trust in yourself. It weaves through your thoughts, gentle but persistent, making you question what you know to be true. You hesitate before you speak, unsure if your words will be twisted or dismissed. Each conversation feels like a test, and you find yourself holding back, afraid of being wrong. The person in front of you wears a calm mask, but you feel the ground shifting beneath you. Their composure makes you doubt your own reactions, as if you're the only one who senses the imbalance. The corrections, the gentle sighs, the "I think you misunderstood," seem reasonable at first. They're delivered with a softness that makes you question your own judgment, as if you're the one who's mistaken. You start to rewrite your own story, erasing the chapters that don't match their narrative. Each time you doubt yourself, another page is torn away, and your sense of reality grows thinner. Inside, the confusion grows, soft, persistent, and deeply lonely. It settles in the quiet moments, making you wonder if you can trust your own mind. And yet, somewhere within, a small voice reminds you, what you felt was real. Gaslighting rarely arrives as a storm. It's more like a gentle, endless drizzle. It's the small comments, the subtle digs at your character. You can't point to one event that broke you. It's 1,000 little nicks. Each one feels insignificant until you are exhausted from bleeding unseen. You become hypervigilant, anticipating their responses, trying to avoid the next slice. The pain isn't sharp, it's cumulative and relentless. The world doesn't see your scars, but you feel them every day. The truth is, the pain isn't in the words. It's in the pattern that wears you down. There comes a moment when reality itself feels slippery. You see something happen, a door left open, a promise broken. You know what you saw, but when you mention it, you're met with denial. The certainty of your own senses begins to falter. You start second-guessing not just your memory, but your very perception. You hesitate before speaking, afraid your version of reality will be dismissed. This is the quiet power of gaslighting, to make you doubt the evidence of your own senses. Doubt is not weakness. It's a sign that your trust in yourself is under threat. There's a certain pain in being cast as the problem. It's a quiet ache that settles in your chest, a weight that grows heavier each time you're misunderstood or unfairly blamed. Sometimes it feels like no matter what you do, you're always the one at fault, even when you're just trying to keep the peace or do your best. When something goes wrong, all eyes turn to you. The room grows silent, and you can feel the judgment, the suspicion, the expectation that you'll take responsibility for everyone's discomfort. It's as if you're wearing a sign that says, "Blame me," even when you're not the cause. If they forget something, you're too demanding. If they make a mistake, you're accused of being controlling or impossible to please. The narrative twists your intentions, making you question your own reality. If they raise their voice, you made them do it. If they lash out, it's because you pushed them too far. Their actions become your fault, and you're left wondering if you really are the problem they say you are. You start to internalize the blame, apologizing for things you didn't do. You begin to doubt your own memories, your own feelings, and you wonder if maybe you really are as difficult as they claim. You walk on eggshells, afraid any misstep will be used against you. Every word, every action is measured, calculated, in hopes of avoiding another accusation or another round of blame. This narrative isolates you, making you stop reaching out. You pull back from friends and family, afraid they'll see you the same way, or worse, that you'll burden them with your pain. The circle tightens, leaving you alone with shame that was never yours. The loneliness grows, and the silence becomes deafening, as if the world has agreed with the story you've been told. But you are not the problem. You are not the sum of their accusations or the scapegoat for their struggles. You are worthy of understanding, compassion, and truth. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to rewrite your truth for their comfort. Remember, your story is your own, and you deserve to be seen for who you truly are, not for the role someone else has forced upon you. There is heartbreak in apologizing for things you didn't do, just to make conflict go away. It becomes a ritual, a desperate offering to keep the peace. You say "I'm sorry" even when you know the fault isn't yours. The apologies become currency, traded for a few moments of calm. Each apology chips away at your self-worth. You apologize before the storm even hits, hoping to stave off the worst. The peace you buy is always temporary, never enough to last. Still, there is hope that one day, you won't need to apologize for existing. Isolation doesn't happen all at once. It begins with missed calls, canceled plans, gentle suggestions that certain friends aren't good for you. Before you know it, your world grows smaller, quieter. You pull away, not realizing the isolation is by design. The circle shrinks until it's just you and them. You stop sharing your feelings, your fears. The silence grows, thick and suffocating. Yet, somewhere inside, a quiet resistance grows. A memory of connection flickers in the darkness. Eventually, you find yourself marooned on an island of one. At first, you might not even notice the isolation settling in. It creeps up quietly, like the tide, until you realize the only footprints in the sand are your own. The silence grows heavy, and the world you once knew feels impossibly distant, as if it belongs to someone else entirely. The only voice you hear is theirs, the only truth, the one they tell you. Their words echo in the emptiness, shaping your reality, until you begin to question your own thoughts. The sound of your own voice becomes unfamiliar, drowned out by the constant presence of theirs. You're told no one else understands, that only they have your best interests at heart. Doubt is planted like a seed, growing roots that tangle around your confidence. You start to wonder if reaching out is even possible, or if the world outside has forgotten you altogether. The world narrows to a single point of reference, and you begin to doubt reality outside your island. The familiar becomes strange, and the strange becomes all you know. The boundaries of your world shrink, until the horizon is just a memory. This isolation breeds dependency. You rely on them for comfort, for your sense of self. Their approval becomes your anchor, and without it, you feel adrift. The need for connection grows stronger, yet the fear of reaching out keeps you rooted in place. If you find yourself here, know this. No matter how alone you feel, you are not truly alone. There is a world beyond the island, waiting for you to rediscover it. Even the smallest spark of hope can guide you back toward connection. Your longing for connection is proof your heart still remembers a world beyond the island. That longing is a lifeline, a reminder that you are meant for more than isolation, and that reaching out is the first step toward finding your way home. One morning, you realize you've become a shadow, soft, silent, barely there. You move through your days quietly, suppressing your needs. The things that once brought you joy fade into the background. You do what's expected, rarely what you want. The spark that once defined you is dimmed, hidden beneath layers of someone else's expectations. But you deserve to take up space, to speak your truth, to live in full color. Shadows exist because there is still light somewhere. Sometimes all it takes is a gentle reminder to turn toward it. Then, almost imperceptibly, a spark flickers in the darkness. It's a question, small, persistent, impossible to silence. Is this normal? Am I being gaslit? The act of questioning is powerful. The fog doesn't lift all at once, but it thins, just enough to see your own outline again. You reach out, perhaps to a friend, or maybe just to your own reflection. The spark grows, fed by curiosity, by hope, by a longing for truth. With each question, each moment of clarity, you step closer to your own truth. And now, the most sacred step, reclaiming your canvas. The lies and doubts, the shadows and scars, they are not the end of your story. You are the artist, and this is your life. You begin to wipe away the smudges of their stories, revealing the vibrant colors underneath. Each stroke is an act of courage, a declaration that your reality matters. You remember the sound of your own laughter, the warmth of connection. Your voice grows stronger, your presence more radiant. The world is brighter for your courage. You are here, and you are real. As we close, remember, your intuition is not crazy. The quiet questions you ask, the moments of clarity you find, these are signs of your strength. The world may have tried to unwrite your story, but you are the author. With each act of self-compassion, you reclaim a piece of your reality. This is your canvas, and you are free to paint it with your truth. Psyche Canvas.